loud. I really like that one. That was from Chris. Hello. I have about an hour I can stream today, and this will be it until I get back next week. Monday, I'll probably stream. Or maybe I'll stream late Sunday if I have it like built up in me over the weekend. I'm doing one of those wild man. Well, I hesitate to call them wild man anymore. That's what they used to be called. It's new warrior training. I even hesitate to call them warrior. But anyway, it's the Mankind Project weekend. I'm leaving tomorrow morning to go on another excursion into the woods with the men's. I'm staffing it this time, so I'll be on the other side of it. And so I won't be able to stream or anything for 4 days. Oh, look at Chris.
Hey,
hello. So you got back from your appointment already?
Yeah, it was really fast because they just as soon as I figured out they weren't going to do anything, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to stay around and like they're out. They were like, well, if you can wait for a little bit longer, we'll get you a list of dentists that might be able to do something more affordable for you. And I was like, I don't have any money. It doesn't matter. You can get me a list, but I'm not going to wait here for an hour while you go get a list of dentists that I can't pay for. So I just
you can find it on the internet anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
So they said they would pull your teeth, but they're not going to put any back in.
Yep.
That's
they're going to pull both my other remaining front teeth and the rest of what remains of these over here. So I'd be missing all my front teeth on top. And yeah, they wouldn't do anything to replace them. I'm just like, why would I do that? I mean, like, sure, I have 3 broken teeth right now, but but 3 of them are still intact. I mean, they have, decay on them, but I could still use them until then. I'd rather have the teeth until they break or whatever than just preemptively take them all out and just be toothless. That's ridiculous. I don't even understand why they would offer that as an option. I guess if I was in a lot of pain or something, that'd be one thing, but they're not causing me any pain. They're just not very good teeth. Anyway, how's your day going? Getting ready for your retreat?
Yeah, busy. I can stream for about an hour. I have a meeting after that for a couple of hours. Then we're doing the movie.
Yeah.
Then it's Survivor. Then I got to get my ass to bed and wake up in time to get everything ready tomorrow.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stream here with you for about an hour, I guess, and then we're gonna go. This is National Taco Day, and we saw a thing on Lindsay saw a thing on Facebook, and there's a local restaurant called Chewy's that if you
I know Chewy's.
Yeah. So if you dress like a taco, which I guess just means wearing some sort of taco shaped thing, you eat for free. So we're gonna go get free
taco shaped things to wear. What is that?
Lindsay just made some out of cardboard. So
that's so dumb. I'm fascinated. I want to look it up. I'm fascinated by what the costumes are gonna look like.
Yeah, look up Chewy's dress like a taco. That's why I looked up for examples of what they accepted, and I found lots of people just using construction paper or whatever.
Copyrighted if I try to.
Oh no, definitely not. There's no way, 0 way.
So they make actual taco costumes you can buy.
Some people do, yeah.
Is that a Texas thing?
Not really. I think it's just a thing that dumb people do. But we're poor and. That gives us free food, free dinner. So,
do all of you have to be dressed? Do you have to dress Juniper?
I mean, she doesn't really eat. She can't really eat an entree, so it doesn't really matter for her.
Oh, is Lindsay dressing? Look at this one.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I looked those earlier.
See, these are real costumes, but I want to see the homemade because nobody's going to have this in their closet on Taco Day.
Exactly. Now the
catch. Only the people that can come up with a costume get the free food.
Now they showed on their own Facebook page people just with just cut out taco costumes. Let's see, Chewy's dressed like a taco is what I put in earlier. and I got.
Restaurant.
It's weird. I'm getting different results on the computer than I got on the phone. On the phone, I got a bunch of. Oh, that's right. I'm using. This is Bing because I'm on Edge. That's why. Because it's not the.
Okay, look.
the
Oh
Google
my
results.
God. Yeah, you could do something like this. It's
What?
construction paper.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's the exact ones we
You know
saw.
what?
Yeah.
You can just like tape some construction paper to your shirt and bring Juniper with you, and she'll get you the tacos. Just having
That's
her
what I
with you.
figure. They're not going to turn
What
away
is
this
this
cute
black
lady.
shit? Who puts black shit on their tacos? Is that the
It's
olives?
meat. It's supposed to be meat.
Black meat. The brown is the meat.
Oh,
He should have
yeah.
cut little circles.
I thought the brown
This
was
is sloppy.
beans.
I wouldn't give him a. I'd give him like half a taco.
Well,
Because that's
if
about the
they
effort he put
supposedly
into it.
accepted that, so the little cardboard.
But you can't say
cutout
no to
thing-
the kids. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Even if it's a
exactly.
crappy costume. Look at that.
Yeah. I mean, they just want people to advertise for them on Facebook anyway. So like, it's like I don't care. What I'm not using Facebook for anything professional or anything. Like I'll put a post up on Facebook showing that we dress like a taco together. I have no shame. I have no shame.
You could stream your taco costume.
I guess
That's
so.
the only costume I even see on their Facebook page.
There's a couple others on the I saw on the phone, but I don't see them on the when I look it up on Bing or whatever this is. But I'm not going to
It's
bother
not
going to Google.
those.
But it's just not that worth it.
National Taco Day, October 4th. They're saying add ground beef taco for $1. That's not even free.
Yeah, it's not. It's free entree if you dress like a taco. Otherwise, it's just like you can add a taco to your entree for $1. So we did something similar a month ago when it was National Cheeseburger Day. It wasn't for free, but it was like there was like some place around here that did like these really fancy gourmet burgers for like $2, and we just went and got those because it was cheap. So you know, if you're poor, you find things to entertain yourself with. You know.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know all about that. So Steve's in the comments. Hi.
I didn't even notice the comments at all. Oh yeah, hey Steve, come on if you want to come on. Oh, he said
He says at work.
Oh, I see. What about Ron? Ron, are you out there? You want to come
That's
on?
from
talk
the other
about
night when he went to the wrong stream.
Oh, okay. Weird.
7:55 p.m. But
I
yeah,
see.
hi Ron, if you happen to be out there.
Well,
I need to put my banner on.
I thought maybe he had come over to talk about the interview we did yesterday, so I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. It's not the Stoned Ape. What is it? The Social Leap.
Yeah, the Social Leap. Yeah. What how'd the rest of the Machine live stream go last night?
It was interesting. We got into some philosophy, and Neurojack was on, and we talked about some of the. He brought the concept of philosophical architecture. Like there's a certain philosophical architecture that we're currently living in, and modern philosophy doesn't interest me at all. Like I stopped philosophy when it starts to go pomo. So I don't know anything about the philosophy of my lifetime. I just know the old stuff. So I want to have a conversation with him one day about what the current philosophical architecture that we're all living in might be, because I really have no clue.
Yeah,
and then we talk. Oh, we watched this. There's this robot called. This is a weird story. You know, Genopus Peorage from Robin Gristle, and how he and his girlfriend tried to transition.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah,
they would look identical. Well, there's this couple, Rothkopf or something, Bina and Martina Rothkopf, and they used to be a male-female couple, and the male transitioned into a female, and so now they're these two females. And the Bina, who's a black lady, had a robot made to look identical as her, and it's an AI. And there's this video where she's having a conversation with this robot self. So we watched some of that.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, I turned on the television when I got off stream just to like let it play in the background, but I hadn't like the night before last night. I had not slept that much at all again. I slept like an hour or two maybe, And so like by the time I got to like, that was like 1 a.m. or something like that, I was exhausted and I had taken the Benadryl, so I passed right out. I only saw you guys talking. I saw Neurojack come on, and that's the last thing I remember. So
yeah, that's and then Hank started arguing with Cecil. They got into, and I went to bed after that. I don't know how long they stayed on, but I want to do our Bloodsport idea.
Yeah.
No exit.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that we need to like we need to carve out a little time when you get back that we can like really sit down, decide the rules of it, and at least try to test and see what works.
StreamYard allows, I think, on my plan up to 10 people, so you could have 9 or 10, like a Brady Bunch grid.
Yeah,
and I think part of it's going to be picking the right people, but if we're just going to pilot something, it may not matter, and just experiment from there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we won't have many, like people donating right there at first, so you may not have much of a prize pool, but if it starts getting attention, then of course that would be there'd be an increased interest in it at that point.
Maybe we could get Paul or Andrew to promote it.
Yeah, maybe so.
I don't trust Andrew not to steal the idea.
I don't either. But I mean, people are going to steal it. It's inevitable.
But anyway, we don't. But God, I forgot what I was going to say. I just had some. What were you talking about?
No, I was just talking about the same thing. I'm just saying like about that, figuring out the exact rules of it, because there's a lot of ways people can people that just how to live on the stream type thing. Which would be fine.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be people with no lives that don't have jobs,
exactly,
families, obligations.
And we can't keep people from gaming on stream, but
it's gonna need to be determined. No, there's no gaming. No gaming. You have to be facing your camera and engaged the whole time.
Yeah,
you can't just be background.
It's almost like a staring contest between.
Yeah. And we can have little challenges or obstacle, little disruptions to try to throw them off.
Yeah, we can throw in some trivia things.
Play some obnoxious music. Try whatever we can to shake them off the tree.
Yeah, and doing a Survivor type thing is fine too. I think I've seen that before. I think I've seen people like the voting off thing.
Yeah,
thing.
They do have it. I've been wanting to do it. I have the game. When Survivor first came out, they had a Survivor party game. And I bought it, and I never actually got to play it one time. But it has all these little challenges. Some of them could probably be adapted to online.
Yeah, we should go over it and take a look and see what they have in there. I can't imagine what the challenges would be for a board game that would be much different that you couldn't do on a stream. There shouldn't be anything too much. I mean, I'm sure there's a few things, but we just have to go through it. It's kind of just go through and look at all the different challenges they have and see which ones we just throw out or something like that. Although we probably wouldn't want to use the actual board game too much. Just I don't know if there'd be any branding issues with that or something.
Yeah, I don't want to get a copyright strike from a board game.
I don't think you can. I mean, people do let's plays.
People do games all the time. They do role playing games all the time online. They film
exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you can get copyright struck for it. I'm just saying I don't think there's any way around. I'd look into it, but I doubt there's anything. I grab a drink. I'll be there in 2 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, Adaptable. Welcome. Adaptable. I had some
All right.
There were a few videos on Twitter that I found. Hang on, let me pull them up. One of them is with the Pope.
Yeah, I saw that. I sent you that article, which we've heard about the transable thing before, I'm sure, but I thought it was interesting that there's now seems like lefties are starting to freak out about it. So,
oh, they're freaking out about it.
Well, the article it seemed like it was from a very lefty type perspective, because it is using terms like problematic and stuff like that. So
this is the Pope. I can't read his body language.
It looks like the body language of just being dead inside.
Oh, this is true multiculturalism. They have so many cultures mixed in here. This is no more extreme than our Mardi Gras, and that's exactly how it's done. Is that a cardinal? Why is he wearing pink? Oh, I saw a little. Oh, he's.
This is like a typical Italian circus type thing, I think.
I saw him tap this little Cardinals laughing. This is cool.
Yeah, it's not.
This is
like,
good for his image.
Yeah.
I don't know what the controversy is.
I don't either.
He's like condoning the lifestyle and stuff. It's just performance.
It is all circus performers. They're not explicitly queer in any way. They're
It
just
looks deep. Whatever it is, it's stimulating deep thought. And then they have this other weird one. Watch this. It's social contagion. It's these girls at a school in Kenya, and they all of a sudden decided that none of them can walk.
right. I think I've heard about something like this before too.
That's just drama. Look. Do girls do this?
Things like this happen amongst groups of teenage girls fairly frequently, like where they get these weird social contagion type things, where like one girl will start having like symptoms of autism, and then suddenly other girls do it. It barely ever spreads amongst men, but it's a mental thing. It's completely mental. It's not. They have no actual.
Yeah, no wonder that they're worried about like all these messages and social influences. If they're that susceptible to it, maybe it is a serious concern for them, but I don't think it is for normal healthy people.
Even
nobody
girls
should be this influenced by the people around them that they start taking on their behavior.
It happens with teenage girls in places. I saw a documentary about this like a few years back before the trans thing even got really bad. There was a case where where these autism type symptoms are spreading amongst teenage girls in this one. I think it was here in the States too.
Like they were faking the symptoms. What even?
I mean, they really believed they had the symptoms, but none of them actually had autism, and it did go away after a while.
Most don't want to be the one to destroy it because autism in girls is it doesn't present like guys. It's harder to diagnose, and so I'm not sure they're not autistic. Like I don't know why anybody that's not autistic would want to.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. But
neurotypical person would want to suddenly identify as and behave autistically, and have to keep it up and maintain it 24 hours a day.
See, there's a way I can look this. I'll show you with the social contagion. See what that does. Yeah, but I've seen things like that video before, and it can happen. It's happened. They even theorize that there's supposedly this really infamous example from the 1600s in France where there was this dancing disease that
Saint Vitus.
Was that? I don't know. That might be the name. I don't remember.
And they say it happens with anorexia, and then the trans thing might be also a form of contagion.
Yeah.
Because the highest rates of transitioners are female to male, like young girls transitioning to male.
Yeah. I'm trying to find when I look up social contagion teenage girls, everything is about transgenderism, but I'm trying to find these. I know because I saw this like years back of like trying to think. I can't remember if it was really autism or something like that though, where they had like tics. They were having like these like literal like physical tics. Let's see.
Hey, Patty.
Or Tourette's like tics. That's what it was.
So like the girls were faking. They were like we're mimetic creatures, but I didn't know we were that mimetic. Or like girls seem to be more hyper mimetic than everyone else.
Yeah. Girls,
but so they were like they were mimicking the tics of people that actually had this.
This actually, here's one that happened really recently. I'll drop this link over in private. 1 second. Tourette's from TikTok.
I remember the Tourette's guy.
This is from 2021.
The girl who caught Tourette's.
Yeah, this was something that was happening, like, right at the beginning of the pandemic, before the transgenderism things are taking off, and there was a lot of different various psychological diseases and stuff that people were just suddenly getting, and like, because there was girls on TikTok that were really popular that were having these, that were getting lots of followers. They say that was the reason why it was spreading or something like that. And so some of them were faking it. Some of the girls really believed they had it. They went through to psychologists. But this happened before TikTok. This happened.
So like they would see somebody on TikTok ticking. Is that what they call it? TikTok? And somebody on TikTok would have ticks, and then the girls would start ticking in their real life from watching the girls on TikTok tick.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's weird.
See, I'm trying to get this. I don't even know how to turn the freaking ad blocker on this. It's one of those things where it will not let you see the article without turning off the ad blocker.
I'll just go to some other site.
Well, this is the only one I could find that was. This is the right one, dude. This is from over 10 years ago. It's from 2012. So that's the one I really want to see. Let me see here. I'm gonna go to Wayback Machine. I gotta do their day. There's like 12 girls in this one town all develop these Tourette's-like tics.
Is that evolutionary? Like there's something about females in particular that
makes you wonder.
Some advantage to all mimicking each other. I know their periods sync up if they live in the same house together.
It's true.
So there's something about females synchronizing with each other. Is it for protection, like in safety in numbers? Because they're the more vulnerable sex.
I have not read enough of this article to make sure this is the right one, but this is the one I was just looking at that I think this is about the same thing. This is from 2012 too. It's from March 7th.
Oh, it's New York Times. It's gonna paywall me.
No, it's not. I'm on it right now. There's no paywall.
It's paywall mine.
Really? I don't understand
Washington
why I don't
Post,
have PayPal.
New York Times, all of those fancy papers.
I mean, it does on new articles, but this one doesn't give me one. It's weird. Anyway, but yeah, it's about this. This is in 2012, but way before the transgender thing really started going crazy, and this was in this one town of Leroy.
I found an update article. Yeah, there's an article from 2019 that has an update. The teens suffer tics and other symptoms. Aaron Brockovich, the real Aaron Brockovich, got involved.
Oh, okay.
Thinking it was an environmental, like it was toxic chemicals that was causing it. She needed a new cause. So she got the EPA involved. They tested the groundwater. They found nothing.
Mm-hmm.
What's PANDAS? Pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorders associated with streptococcal infections, PANDAS. So the next theory was there's this PANDAS disease.
Yeah. But of course,
the anti-vaxxers got in on it.
Mm-hmm.
A real physician breaks medical science. So they have this doctor came in. Conversion disorder. I have heard of that.
I guess eventually there were 18 girls that were. Yeah, that it was determined to be entirely a social contagion caused hysteria. Like I said, I saw a documentary on it that happened after 2012. But
yeah, they're saying it was a form of conversion disorder.
Yeah. It's crazy, but this is not it's not even that uncommon. Like at least the documentary I know talked about how there's actually many other examples from history where this happened. Even like that
Is it
story.
mostly with girls?
It's always with women or girls.
What is it? Why are girls so weird? If
I don't
there's
know,
a
man.
guest,
Boys
that
have been
wants
trying to figure
come
that out
on
forever,
and
right?
explain to us why girls are so weird, please.
Yeah,
We'd
Patty,
welcome
come on
your
and tell
input.
us why girls are weird. She's in the comments.
Because I grew up mostly with girls, my sister and all her friends, and they were not this. They didn't do shit like
Well,
this. They
none
weren't that
of my
weird.
sisters did either. Nor any of the women I've ever spent much time with. It
Is
doesn't
is
happen.
it like liberal white women or sheltered white women girls?
I don't know, but we just saw that happen in Nigeria, right? So,
That's
was it
true.
Nambia or something like that? So it doesn't have anything to do with being white. It has nothing to do
Could
with
be the
being.
porn.
Could be the porn. Yeah, what the porn's
The
making them.
porn that the girls are probably watching.
So is it like the old definition of hysteria from like the 1400s whenever they would where the first vibrators came from? It was literally like women that were so horny they were going crazy. That's literally. I mean, like if you look at the original meaning of the term hysteria, that's what it meant.
I want to get to the bottom of this.
They would go to the doctor, and the doctor would penetrate them with a dildo, and that's how they would
to cure their hysteria.
Would
calm them down. Maybe like some of women's neuroses is sexual frustration.
That's what I mean. That's what they thought back then. But like those women weren't really actually crazy. They weren't even acting like crazy. They were just unhappy in their marriages or whatever. And so they go to the doctor. The doctor would bring them to orgasm to get them to calm down.
Did it work?
I guess so. In some cases, it was basically a doctors were like,
probably got rich off and made.
Yeah. It was like the original vibrators were like medical devices, so it's very weird. There was a movie made about it. I think the movie was called Hysteria, if I'm not mistaken.
If the physiology and nervous systems of women are that different than men, which I've argued they are, because they're very hyperreactive to me and other men for some reason in a way that men are not, then you can't have an egalitarian society with that much of a discrepancy between the two responses to reality, to stimuli.
Well, no, I mean, like we can't expect.
It seems like a form of emotional. It seems like an emotional handicap. If you're that sensitized to stuff that the rest of society is not, then you have special needs and requirements that the rest of us don't. So it's not a level playing field.
Yeah, I mean, women have disadvantages and advantages. Men have disadvantages and advantages. They're just different, you know. I mean, I do think we are ultimately.
But what do you norm society for? You have to find something that we all can participate in equally to have an egalitarian society. You can't norm it to the sensitivity of females, and you can't norm it to the aggression of males, I guess. I don't have any twitches.
Yeah, most women don't. My wife she never got any social contagion type thing like that. I mean, like none of my sisters did. I have 3 sisters.
I don't know anybody that has ever.
Yeah, I mean,
videos.
The cases of it are fairly limited. Even the cases of the transgender contagion type thing, they're not that widespread. There's plenty of places where there aren't tons of teenage girls becoming transgender, but it does seem to spread a lot more in certain situations, certain things. It could be psychological to some degree. I don't know. It's, I guess it's almost, it seems much more similar to like a baby, learning to cry for certain things because it gets them certain kinds of attention, right? I mean, aren't teenage girls primarily the ones who are known to like act out for their dad's attention or something like that? I mean, I guess boys do it somewhat too, but it seems a lot more of something that's more.
I don't know. That's why I wish we had. I wish we had Steve on.
Yes, that's true. Yeah,
Steve seems like he would know. Yeah, I mean, girls can have daddy issues. I know many girls with daddy issues. I don't know if they necessarily act out because it, but it could be. Some of them have acted out.
I mean, it's kind of a trope. I mean, I don't know how accurate.
But like, do you think all those
girls
girls at that girls' school are acting out of daddy issues?
Not necessarily. It could just be social attention type thing, but they not be consciously aware of it. It may not be they're consciously thinking this girl's getting more attention because she's has
they were
strap.
consciously walking goofy. That's not, you have to consciously make your body do that kind of walk. They're not just like walking normally and all of a sudden they start walking a certain way and don't realize they're doing it.
I mean, I agree. It's what it looks like to me. It looks like just hella fake to me too. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't interviewed these people. I don't know. I think they'd all be faking it. Yeah, it could all just be fake as shit. And they certainly have tricked a lot of people into thinking they weren't faking it, that they really believed it, even if it wasn't true. But it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
I believe you, Patty.
That's what I was just saying.
What am I believing you about?
She doesn't have any twitches or whatever. Yeah.
Oh no, I believe she don't have. Wouldn't think she would have twitches.
I know she was joking.
I don't assume people have twitches. That's not my default.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think most women are necessarily susceptible to that, but it does seem like it's something that's only really seen in teenage girls.
I do, especially after living up here, I do assume that most women are going to be hyperreactive to male traits or male expression in a way that the women I grew up with were not, and other men are not. Like I do make at some point, women are going to freak out around me over something at some point, and like make drama out of something that's completely insignificant, or escalate something that's completely innocuous into some kind of threat to them. Like they're gonna see threat and react to it where nobody else would, because I've had that happen too many times over and over and over, and then it starts the drama triangle. So I do make that assumption about there's something in their nervous system that's highly threat responsive. And it could be evolutionary, but whatever it is, I set it off. And other men I've seen set it off. And that's why men go out of their way to be a certain way around women. And I don't, because I don't know what that way is.
Well, I mean, Patty's saying that because she mentioned something about
the porn.
Being porn.
Yeah, well, explain the connection between the porn and twitching.
Yeah, because I could see it contributing to the transgender thing, like seeing me exposed to, like, you know, I guess the way men are portrayed in porn is probably a lot more positive, and so girls watching a lot of, you know, porn, I guess primarily as I would assume straight porn and not any kind of gay porn, or maybe they're watching male gay porn or something like that. But if that could maybe, like, you know, somehow confuse their brains somehow if they're looking at it at a younger age or something, I guess they could, you know, create some fucked up results like that. But I don't see how it could contribute to Tourette's, belief that you have Tourette syndrome, which, I mean, that really has only happened that one time in that city in New York, and it happened on TikTok. But I mean, for all we know, those kids on TikTok doing it were literally consciously faking it. We're doing it on purpose for attention and just refuse to admit it.
Like a new dance trend.
Exactly. I mean, of course, because you're not going to admit that you were doing it, you're faking it, because that looks really bad. But if you can convince people that you really believe that you have it. It looks
just as bad to pretend like that you really caught this. I wouldn't want that reputation either.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not, but I mean, if you convince people that you really believe you have it, at least then they won't say it's your fault or you're being deceptive, just that you are susceptible to social contagions, I guess. And like, that seems less.
I don't think that reflects on you well as a person either.
I don't either.
I don't like, how does somebody get convinced that they have something they don't have? That's
I completely agree.
Person.
I completely agree.
Oh, she's saying it's contributing to girls transing. Do they see it in porn? Like,
I don't think they're seeing transgender people in porn, but I could see how, like, you know, just because the way that women's brains develop differently than men's, and they develop like interest in sex and stuff at an earlier age, usually than boys do. And if they're seeing porn at a super young age, and they're seeing the way that men are portrayed in porn as opposed to women, which women are in porn, let's face it, especially straight porn, women are
not sexually innocent. My sister and her friends are younger than me, and they knew way more about sex than I did.
I'm not saying they're sexually innocent. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying, but in porn, to a younger brain, you see that men are often like seen as much more powerful figures,
But
and the
you can
women
see
are
that
much
on
more
TV
demeaning.
shows too. You don't
Yeah,
even need
that's true.
porn
It could
to
very
get
much be the
to
same
like
thing.
infer that. And you porn like I was already sexually not well. I don't maybe active, but that's not what I want to say. Like I was already sexually aware. I had a sexual imagination. I could imagine sexual situation in my head very vividly before I even encountered porn. So as you develop sexually through puberty, you don't even need porn. You're going to be put in touch with your erotic imagination all by itself. Like your body's just going to produce that naturally. So I
Well,
don't
yeah.
know why what difference the porn makes when you're going to have those thoughts and fantasies anyway without it.
Well, to be fair, we aren't women though, and we don't have women's brains, so who knows what that's different, how different that is for a girl. I don't know. I'm not saying
Oh,
I'm not.
Flamio knows about porn, but he's you're mowing the lawn. You're mowing the church lawn.
I
The
guess
Unitarian.
the Unitarian church lawn.
They already have you their bitch. I want to hop up, but he wants to hop up. We're only doing it for like another 20 minutes or so, and then I
Yeah,
have
it's
a
a pretty
meeting.
short one today.
I just want to get one more in before I go. But I am on my way home from mowing the lawn for. How did they get you to mow their lawn?
Maybe they're paying him.
Oh, maybe so. I want to hear that story next time you're on. Oh, hang on. I got to take a call. One second.
Yeah, Patty, the twitching thing, it was something that was really going on a lot on TikTok. About 2 years ago, there was a bunch of it, but this was right alongside the trans thing. Now, the article that I was talking about and the situation that came from New York back in 2012, that's a different thing. But there are a lot of other instances of groups of women, even nuns. This has been known to happen amongst groups of nuns. Like there was I'll see if I can look that one up. There was a thing about a group of nuns that started meowing like cats, I want to say. Meowing. Let me see if I can find it. Meowing nuns of France. Yeah, it was like a case of mass hysteria. But if you look up, but even on the Wikipedia thing, of various social contagions and mass hysterias, they typically involve, there on a whole, there's a lot more of them involving groups of women or teenage girls than there are of men. I'm not saying men are never susceptible to social contagion or hysteria. It just tends to be more common in women. I'm a very pro female, pro woman person. I'm not like, I don't think that women are lesser people or
He's
anything
not like
that,
me.
but I mean, it's just a fact. Like you can look around like the various things. Like, look, I'm looking right now on the Wikipedia page for mass hysterias. There was Iranian schoolgirls were reporting mass poisonings. There was the 52 students in Kenya. That might have been the video we were showing earlier. They were isolated with an unknown disease showing symptoms of a high-pitched cough, sneezing, and low-grade fever. A number that later rose to 68. But no cause was ever found. They does not say whether they were boys or girls. Oh no! And then it kind of gives it away. But it said that the number rose of school administrators shut the school, and it was an all-girls school. Actually, it turns out. So that was an all-girls school. Another case from Malaysia. There was a bunch of girls that in Kelantan that started screaming, with some claiming to have seen a face of
what
pure
kind of
evil.
girls? Wit girls?
They were from Malaysia. Malaysian girls from Katera.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean these are recent in the last.
It
5
sounds like
years.
girls just being weird. Girls are weird. It just sounds like girls being weird. Why are they so weird?
I don't know, man. It's very true though. Yeah, like pretty much every single one of these instances since 2000 to present that are on here are all centered around teenage girls, except for the ones that were more like widespread panic type things, like the Havana syndrome thing. But yeah, there's tons of reports of it's all girls school, all girls school, all girls school, over and over and over again. So I mean, people can pretend like there's nothing different between boys and girls, but girls clearly have different psychological makeups than boys do. You know, boys have their own issues and hangups, but they're not as susceptible to social contagion. That's for sure.
Maybe boys are just as weird to girls as they are to me.
I'm sure that's definitely the case, but nonetheless.
But I also feel like if somebody identified the weirdness, I could explain. As a guy, I could say, "Oh, well, this is what it is from the inside." Nobody can explain this girl weird stuff to me. I guess I'd have to ask one of the girls.
Why women would be more susceptible to mass hysteria? Like I was just saying when you stepped away, like one of the weirdest ones is from 1784. There was a group of nuns in Germany, Holland, and Italy, and these are different convents that all these nuns started meowing.
Meow.
Yeah, just acting, but constantly, to the point where like all the women would do it, and it wasn't like a decided upon thing. They didn't decide to like pull pranks on some. It was we didn't even know how it spread to other convents. Because the nuns didn't really didn't travel to other convents or anything like that. They don't know why this was like somehow the idea of it spread to other convents, and these nuns were all meowing, and it lasted for like 3 years or something like that, and then they all stopped, and it just everything.
Girls like to fit in to the point of acting crazy. Like if one girl's acting crazy, they're gonna start acting crazy just to fit in with them.
Probably if that one girl is getting any sort of, if they are starved for attention in some way, and they see the other girl getting attention, yeah, I can see that. The same way,
Even if
like
she's meowing or walking funny or ticking or whatever, they're gonna mimic whatever in their mind is bringing it. That makes more sense, but that also sounds kind of weird and crazy to me too. By the way, did you see The Little Hours, that comedy?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's a funny movie.
Yeah, we need to put it on our list too. The Nun movie.
Sure. Yeah, The Little Hours is a pretty good movie. I like the cast of it anyway. It's got Audrey Plaza.
Yeah, it was a good guess. Kate Micucci.
Yeah, and Alison Brie, I think, was in it too, right?
John Riley.
Yeah, he's great.
What is it with the cats? I don't know. Cats, they're speaking of weird, they're their own type of weirdness too. I've been trying to figure cats out forever.
Well, cats and women have a special connection. I don't know. Well, I mean, I like my cats too, but
what do you mean
like
cats and women have a special connection?
Cats and women just get along better than cats do with men in general. I get along okay with cats, but my cats
I've never heard that.
love. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. It's what you've heard of a cat lady. You've never heard of a cat man or a cat gentleman.
But they have cat men. I know plenty of men with cats, and I know plenty of women with dogs.
But it's not a trope. It's not like a thing.
That's all it is a trope. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing scientific about.
I'm not saying it's scientific. I'm just saying like tropes mean something because it's something that's prominent enough that it becomes an idea that spreads people, and people hear it and they're like, oh yeah, I know somebody like that. So that propagates the idea. If the idea doesn't have that kind of like universal truth type thing to it, they don't usually catch on and stick around. But almost everybody knows a cat lady. Everybody knows somebody who's really into cats, and it's always a woman and almost never a guy. Occasionally it might be a guy, but not enough of them for there to be a stereotype of a cat gentleman. Which I think would be funny to be personally honest. I'm sorry. My mouth is not working today. I can't talk right.
Maybe. Well, you did just get back from the dentist.
They didn't do anything besides take X-rays though. So they took X-rays and told me they were going to pull my teeth out, and I said like, and you're going to put or give me something to even dentures to put in. He's like, oh no, we don't do that here. That wouldn't be covered. That wouldn't be covered here. You'd have to find someone. So I was like, no, thank you. I'll
Oh, no,
I'll be
sir, we
fine.
don't do that. Like, what a crazy question.
We thought you'd just
Louis
be
Ross-
okay without having teeth at all. We just didn't figure that it mattered to you.
Louis Rossman, who is that?
Louis Rossman, he's a
He's a tech repair guy. Oh, some nerd that
oh
Ophelia
yeah,
knows.
yeah.
He's a cat man.
Cats do have a hypnotism parasite. That is true.
What?
They have, yeah. There's a parasite that spreads
y'all
through
are, y'all are
cat shit.
turning this channel into.
What? No, this isn't. This is science. This is science. This is scientific.
This is gonna be the
I swear to God.
Alex Jones show.
This is absolutely a science.
I
thing.
know
This is not a
about
crazy thing.
the what is it? The toxoplex.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
toxoplasmosis.
That's all we mean.
Oh,
Toxoplasma
that's
gondii.
not
Yeah. It can infect any warm-blooded animal. It's famous for its ability to manipulate hosts, most notably in making rodents reckless around house cats. And it's not 100% certain that it affects humans, but they do theorize that it's probably the reason why people let cats into their house and let them take care of themselves as it is, because they get that parasite and it makes them just more amenable to cats.
I don't care about theory. I want hard science.
Sometimes that's all they have, even in hard science circles.
That's not enough for me to go on.
Still, I mean, it doesn't sound that ridiculous to me personally.
That there's a brain parasite that's manipulating people into adopting cats.
I mean, it's a lot less weird than like the parasite.
There's something
that drills
about
into
just cats, and just on their own, without they don't even need a parasite. There's something about. Hang on, I gotta
take a call.
I gotta
I mean, there's that parasite or that fungus that drills into freaking ants' brains and zombie manipulates their bodies, the top of like these things, and then like they die, and then like the spore breaks out of their skulls. I mean, there's a lot of creepier things than that. I mean, yeah, I guess even the Salem witch trials were probably a social contagion type thing. They do list that on here too. I don't know. Serve your kitty masters, yeah. Well, I mean, that's probably the case, right? Like the Egyptians worshipped cats because they were, infected with a brain parasite. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Cats don't offer us anything. Dogs offer us protection. Cats barely offer companionship. I mean, I like cats, fine. I think they're respectable animals, but what do they really add to your life that much? I mean, I don't know that they don't really like. None of my cats are very cuddly or anything. They don't even let me pick them up. So like the cats are very standoffish. I mean, I rescued those cats from certain death, and yet there's no gratitude in that. Now, granted, I prefer a cat's aloofness over a dog's over eagerness myself. I don't have anything against dogs, but I don't care for them myself. And it's not as a pet. I'm not interested. They're just kind of smelly and slobbery and everything else. And I know some people are just like really charmed by how much they love you unconditionally and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just do not see. I just don't. They just don't really do much for me personally. But nothing against people that like dogs. I just don't care for them.
I hated dogs growing up. Like I hated, and then my sister got a little dachshund that I absolutely fell in love with, despite myself. I didn't mean to. In fact, she called and she goes, I got a new dog. I'm bringing it over. I said, don't expect me to like it. I'm not going to pet it.
Right.
And it walked through the door. It jumped in my arms, and I melted. I just
dogs like dachshunds and little dogs I don't really mind so much, because they don't get as smelly and slobbery and stuff like that, and they don't tend to shit
roll in their
and stuff like that. Yeah, they do. But especially if you live in somewhere you can have one that's house trained to go in and out by itself, take it on walks all the time and stuff like that. That's not so bad. There was a dog I loved too once upon a time. Whenever I was a kid, I had this giant German Shepherd dog named Buddy, but he lived outside, so it wasn't like, mostly people that have like the indoor dogs that bother me. They have big indoor dogs, and like they jump on you and knock you over and stuff like that. It's just like, I mean, sometimes it's charming, but sometimes it's just annoying. But like we had this dog that kind of showed up at my parents' house when we were living out there years back, and he just kind of showed up and just kind of adopted the house as his own, even though like we don't know where he came from or anything. But he was such a good dog, and he was always really super sweet to us and friendly, and I love that dog. I can't remember what we called him now. It's been years and years. I mean, he died of natural causes eventually, and you know, I mean, it was sad when he died. But my sister, on the other hand, she has like this like kind of medium-sized dog that she treats like her child kind of thing, and that just shit just kind of annoys me. It annoys me that there are bakeries that make dog treats only. That really annoys me.
That's all first world luxury
No,
stuff.
it's just like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cats do eat vermin. If you have better cats than I have, my cats do not eat vermin. They won't even eat bugs. They're completely worthless. I mean, I love my cats. I'm not about to kill them or throw them out of the house, but nonetheless, they do not contribute anything into my life besides cost me the money I have to spend on cat food and cat litter, and you know, and having to clean up after them and everything. They're not. They do not produce anything. At least dogs, you know, they have the protection thing for you, and they'll usually, Timmy, that was his name. Timmy was the name of the dog that was outside. That dog was insane, dude. Once we found a mouse in our house, and we captured it in those humane mouse traps. We took it out really far away from the house, this field that was, my parents live out in the country. So we took out this field that was way out there. We let this mouse go. And the mouse beelines it back to the house. He knew exactly where the house was somehow. I have no idea how. They have like radar in their brains or something. He was just like taking off to the house. We're like, God damn it, that mouse is getting back in the house again. But Timmy runs up, and I've never seen anything like this before in the world. This was the craziest thing to me at the time. That dog just like walked over to the mouse, and like we could really keep up. Timmy was a pretty fast, like long-legged. I don't know, he was a mutt, but he was big. And he just walked over to that mouse and scooped it up in his mouth like it was nothing, and just like, and walked up to me, and I was like, "Did you just swallow that mouse?" And then I pat him on the head, and he opened his mouth, and the mouse popped out. He didn't chew it or anything. He just had it held in his mouth, and the mouse got confused and started running back towards the house again. And then Timmy went back over and picked it back with his mouse. I don't know if he ate the mouse or something. He ran off after that, but yeah, I've never seen that. Never seen anything like that before. He just like, he scooped this mouse up in his mouth and just held it there like it was like it was like a Ratatouille type situation or something. Like it was really weird. I mean, all in one fell motion, just scooped up, let it go again, and scooped him up again, just fucking with the mouse, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a very big mouse. It was like that big, but.
Well, I don't know where to take the conversation from there. So that might be a good story to end on. I have to wrap up.
Yeah, I know you got to go. Yeah, we're gonna go
later tonight. In a couple of hours, like in 2 hours, we're gonna start True Detective. If you want to join us, email me.
Sure.
We'll watch the first 2 episodes.
And if I don't make it back in time, I'll just watch them myself. We're not doing a discussion afterwards, so if I don't make it back here from the
sneak in late if you want. I'll
yeah, sure. Yeah, I might if we get back. I mean, I'm gonna get offline and go downstairs. We're gonna go over to the restaurant.
Are you doing a costume? You have to, right?
Just a cardboard thing. I'm just gonna.
You're making a cardboard.
Lindsay made them earlier, so.
Oh, do you have them? Can we see them?
Oh, they're downstairs, man. She's downstairs with them, and if she's watching the show down there, she might bring them up. I don't know. I don't hear anything though. They may not be watching the show. So anyway, yeah. I'll show you tomorrow. I'll show you whenever we come back from break, and I'll show you then, and I'll tell you if it worked or not, if we got free tacos or not. Okay. So I'll let you know.
I think you'll get them with just Juniper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. All right.
Well, have a good weekend, and I look forward to talking next week.
Yeah, we'll talk next week. We'll figure out they shoot streamers, don't they? And
yes.
Have you seen that movie before, by the way? They shoot horses, don't they? Have you seen that? Okay.
No,
we should watch that.
There's a Color Box song by that name, but I didn't know it was from a movie.
Oh, she brought it. This is what she did. this is what she created for us. So I don't know if it's gonna. If the
Oh my
camera's going-
God! Yeah, y'all will definitely get. That was better
Yeah.
than that other family.
Yeah.
Wow, she
there
made
you go.
that. She drew all that. Oh my
Yeah.
God! I think
She-
y'all should get.
Lindsay's a very talented artist. She
couple
has lots of
tacos
paintings and stuff
with
like that.
extra sauce,
Yeah.
packets of sauce.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.
Okay.
I'll see you
I
next
look
week,
forward to
Jeff.
hearing how it
Jeff.
goes.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Okay. Yeah, that's it for me. Like I said, I'm going away for the next 4 days. I'll be out in the woods. So when I get back, I might do a late night stream Sunday, but probably Monday is when we'll resume again. So everyone have a good weekend. Do something fun, and I'll talk to you next week. And I think PF Young's streaming later tonight, and he'll probably be there on Saturday doing his morning show. So take care, have fun, and talk to you later. Thank you all. Oh, I want to play a little bit of music. I really like this song I was playing earlier. It's good.